Hello, my friend. Welcome to this video on the full moon in Sagittarius. This full moon has a richness, a depth, a beautiful emotional release, a harvest of all that you've been through, especially in the past week or two. We're going to talk about those pieces. And there is an abundance, an expansion, and a landing in who you are with this full moon. There's also a lot of energy. Jupiter energy, which rules Sagittarius, is all about goodness and expansion and manifestation. Yes, it's all about abundance and richness and the yumminess of being alive. And Jupiter energy is also just big. It can be a lot. It's really important to remember when working with Jupiter. And there's been a massive amount of interesting Jupiter activity over the past few days, especially, that is leading into this full moon and a moment of release and harvest. So drop into your body with me right now. Jupiter has moved into Cancer, and it's becoming more important than ever while Jupiter is in Cancer to connect to your emotional depths, to your body, as a piece of manifesting all you're creating. So in this video, we're going to talk about what Jupiter's move into Cancer means and how that supports this full moon. We're going to talk about how to use the grand fire trine of this moon to support manifestation through the body very boldly, from your body and not from your mind. And we'll look at where this full moon may be hitting you personally if you know your chart. If you don't, that's okay. I will walk you through it. And mostly we're going to talk about why this is the time to claim your truth, land in your lane, be who you are, and go bigger. That is the invitation of this full moon, and you are very supported with that energy, with that new landing in you-ness and going much bigger when you consciously are able to meet the pieces of what's going on. So let me guide you through. Past few days, there was some big activity with Jupiter. Jupiter, again, rules Sagittarius. So by the way, anytime we're talking about Jupiter, we are setting the stage for this full moon that is happening. And by the way, it's happening June 11th in the Western Hemispheres. I'm recording this on Tuesday the 10th in my time zone. And first, let's talk. Sagittarius is all about truth, clarity, your higher vision. It's about a clearing away of what doesn't serve you, especially mental clutter. And this comes through a connection to you. And in this full moon, it comes particularly through a connection to nurturing not just yourself, but your desires in a very embodied and felt way. So I want to guide you through, as we talk, connecting to where the desires that you're bringing into form actually live and are in your body, where that energy exists. I'm going to invite you to start to drop into that now, even as we talk about all of these pieces. So just yesterday, Jupiter moved into Cancer. Jupiter has been in Gemini, and Jupiter in Gemini is a little scattered. Jupiter, again, is the planet of manifestation and abundance and expansion. And in Gemini, as wonderful and airy and exciting as a place as it is for Jupiter to be, there can be a scatteredness to it. Jupiter moving into Cancer is going to invite a coming home, a landing in your body, in the emotional truth for you of what you want to create, what you're here to create, who you're here to be. And I'm going to invite you to tap into that now and just feel into that now with me. You can just start by feeling your seat on the seat, feel your breath happening. Let your body land here in this moment and notice that you are here connecting to and consciously partnering with the energy of this very expansive, beautiful full moon. Jupiter in Cancer is connecting to the emotional body, the depths of you, the part of you that feels and that creates from those deep feeling places. if the ideas, if the plans have been a bit scattered, this is the time to land them, to pause and bring them home into what is true for you, what is truly resonating for you deeply. That's the first piece to know about this full moon, is that Jupiter, having just moved into Cancer, is in a position to support you with creating from depth and from really connecting to feeling the truth of your desires. And I'm going to invite you to just take a breath with me here. Allow your body to just breathe and naturally drop in a bit more. And allow yourself to notice what desires might be present that may want to come into feeling and into form a bit more. Are there things that have been a bit scattered that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to fully feel into? This is the moment to do that, and that is the first important thing about this full moon. I mentioned that Jupiter is about a lot of energy, and there's a lot of energy both internally and externally. How this impacts you and your experience is going to be described more specifically by your natal chart. But let's just know that anytime Jupiter is in the room, there can be a lot, and it can feel overwhelming, and it can feel intense. If you know the area of your natal chart that is ruled by Cancer, if you know the house that it's ruled by, you'll have a sense of the area of your life that is the most impacted by a lot of energy and a lot of manifestation energy right now. I don't usually speak into astrology and political events, not because they're not incredibly important and certainly reflected in the astrological patterns, but because it can be really easy for the attention to go to, oh my gosh, look at all of this stuff happening out there. Let's map it out so we can figure out what's going to happen out there. Rather than looking at all the stuff happening in here, let's map that out. That's the more challenging use of astrology, but it's the one where all of your power is. It's where all your power to create and use this information in a way that actually changes you actually is. Focusing out there on what the stars say is going to happen tends to take you into focusing on things you can't control. And to be clear, the stars don't predict outcomes of or specific courses of events, because for one thing, every human on this planet has free will. What the stars show, what the cosmos show, is the energy patterns that we are all a player in, you and me and all of us. So I want to invite you, rather than focusing out there, which usually tends to go up into tension, mental loops, and anxiousness, to use this energy to empower you to have the skills to create and be who you're here to be, which includes all the ways you're impacting the collective, which includes how your energy, your being, and your direct actions are moving out and affecting what is happening in the world. That is the power of this full moon. And we're going to talk in a second about the Gemini Sag polarity. This full moon is inviting you to bring your power in and bring your truth into you. This is where your ability to create an impact is. So allow these conscious connections to these energy patterns to transform you. And with that, let's notice that there has been a huge amount of energy on the world stage, and this full moon is also squaring the North and South node. It's in a square with the North and South node, which represents our destiny, our moving forward as a collective, especially. And we are certainly seeing a square represents an obstacle, a challenging meeting of energy. And we are seeing, if you are tuned into the United States and Los Angeles events right now, we're seeing a major meeting of big energy as it connects in an obstacle way with the collective moving forward. That's as much as I'm going to say about current events, because again, I don't want to go into trying to map out what is going to happen. I want you to take this energy and empower yourself. Jupiter and Mercury, let's talk about Mercury for a second, which is the planet that rules your intellect and your thoughts and your communications. Jupiter and Mercury met up just a couple of days ago in a conjunction, and they met at the 29th degree of Gemini, which is the mastery point of Gemini energy. Gemini is all the ideas, all of the mental energy, going all of the places and communicating about lots of things. Jupiter and Mercury meeting up at the 29th, which is the mastery degree of Gemini, a couple of days ago, would have brought some kind of big energy to you personally, depending how it lives in your chart, but would have brought some kind of big energy to your thoughts, your communications, your plans, your activities, but especially on like a mental level or a planning level. There was a big meeting point, and again, it was an invitation to master this place of all of the energy, of all the ideas, of all the communication. So I want to invite you to think back. It was like 2 days ago. It was like Saturday, Sunday. So what, like June 8th, 9th-ish, give or take. What was going on for you? Because this is important for this full moon. What was going on for you in the realm of either internal thoughts, external conversations and communications that felt potentially very big and expansive, which may have felt enormously good? Like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing the plans, I'm seeing the way forward, I'm seeing the path, I'm getting it. It might also felt challenging, might have felt like, wow, I'm running into like either an obstacle or just so much bigness that it's almost hard to hold. This full moon is going to support you in holding all of that, regardless of what it's been like. But take a sec right now to notice, this is really important. Notice what's been up for you like the past like 3-4 days as of right now in the realm of either thoughts, plans, communications, ideas, or knowing what you want to manifest and create. Just pause and note that for yourself for a second. And I'm going to invite you to take a breath into whatever's there. And if you don't have specific things, maybe you have an energy sense, just a feeling sense, an image, a vision. Notice that for a moment. So all of that happened at the mastery degree of Gemini. All the ideas, lots of plans, lots of expansion. This full moon happens in Sagittarius, which is opposite Gemini. And where Gemini is all about all the ideas and all the angles and possibilities and exploring them all, Sagittarius invites you to land in your truth, to land in your lane, to go, yes, I can see and understand maybe and get and hear and maybe even feel overloaded with all of the pieces. And this is me, this is my truth. Here's where I'm landing now. Here's what I'm creating. This is what this full moon invites for you. And the fact that Jupiter has just moved into Cancer invites you to drop it down into the feeling space, into the body, into the resonance of who you are. And I'll invite you to ritualize that with me in this moment, if you like. And just breathe into where this energy of what wants to be created next in you lives. And take a moment to tune into that, however that feels, however that looks for you. Remembering it can feel like a lot, but this is your expansion. This is the bigness that you are here to be. The last piece I want to talk about is the grand fire trine between the moon and Mars and Chiron. If we needed any more support with this full moon to bring all of this energy into conscious, tangible form, we're supported with this beautiful grand fire trine. So we've got three players here. We've got this full moon, a reset, a release, an emotional newness, a place of harvesting all that you've been through. That's what all full moons are about. And it's in a configuration called a trine, which is a very powerful flow of energy with Mars, which represents the physical body, your physical energy, your drive, your ambition, your power, your health. And it's also in a trine with Chiron. Chiron represents the old wounded places where you can choose to show up to an old trigger and not be triggered by that old place anymore. Chiron is like the place, you know, that concept of like the broken, cracked places are where the most light comes in. That's the energy and the power of Chiron. When you can meet and consciously connect the places that maybe were wounded in the past, the places that have been broken, when you can consciously meet those places and they no longer rule you, that is where the most power, the most clarity, the most energy can pour through. So we've got this beautiful trine with this full moon of the power of Chiron, the light pouring through the old broken places, the energy of the physical body and your drive and your power and your go do it, and maybe your sacred rage, all held by Mars. And we've got this emotional reset and release and harvest with this full moon. All of this is landing in your body in its home with Jupiter in Cancer, inviting you to drop in, to be here, to consciously create and be and live and choose from the most elevated and powerful, beautiful, conscious creator place that you are. Take a breath with me if you'd like to celebrate and acknowledge this full moon. Feel yourself here. If you'd like to place a hand on your heart, one on your solar plexus or belly, if you'd like. And I'm just going to invite you to breathe with me for a moment. And if you'd like to make some sound and invite all this energy to resonate very beautifully through you, you can do that now on a deep breath in. Feel your breath, feel the energy and resonance in your body. Let yourself land in your desires and let yourself walk in your desires today. Let yourself walk consciously guided by the desire energy that fuels you and is you and allows you to be a conscious creator and player in all the unfolding events in the world, in the universe today. Sending you so much love. Please subscribe and like and join me for more if this has been helpful. And I'll see you soon. Take great care.